Welcome, everyone. This is our third lesson in the current series of Conchas y Café, and we are obviously going to have another go with some really cool techniques in poetry, thanks to Abraham and his ingenuity. He'll be leading tonight's lesson, of course, and I'll be managing the questions in the chat and also on our live stream. So for anybody that is joining us, whether that be on Instagram Live, on YouTube Live, Facebook, and Twitter, I'll be, checking our chats there as well, answering questions as we go. But Abraham, do you have any specific requests? Do you want to use the handout that I posted to our Google Classroom, or will you be sharing the screen?
No, I have the one that I share, the one I have here.
Yeah.
Just easier for me to follow along.
So, ladies and gentlemen, aquí tienen a Abraham Jaramillo.
Okay, let's start sharing today's lesson. So without further ado, let's start. It's always better to shock people and change people's expectations than to give them exactly what they think you can do. It's not unexpected for me to be in a comedy film anymore. I'm no longer the underdog in that world. Not that I am great or good at it or anything. It's just that I have done a bunch of them. So you are not shocked. This quote comes from Jonah Hill. He was born December 20, 1983, age around 39. I don't know when the math was done. American actor. He is known for his comedy role in films including Superbad, Knocked Up, Get Him to Greek, 21 Jump Street, This Is the End, and 22 Jump Street. For his performance in Moneyball and The Wall of Wall Street, he was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. And again, we'll talk about it a little bit. Just let me go at it in Spanish. So, como les decía, siempre es mejor sorprender a la gente y cambiar sus expectativas que darles exactamente lo que creen que puedes hacer. Ya no es inesperado para mí estar en una película de comedia. Ya no soy el desvalido en ese mundo. No es que sea genial o bueno en eso, ni nada por el estilo. Es solo que he hecho un montón de ellas, así que no te sorprenden. Esta cita viene de Jonah Hill. Nació el 20 de diciembre de 1983. Como les digo, calculando 39 años. No sé cuándo hicieron la matemática. Actor estadounidense, es conocido por sus papeles como cómicos en películas como Superbad, Knocked Up, Get Him to the Greek, 21 Jump Street, This Is the End, y 22 Jump Street. Por sus actuaciones en Moneyball y El Lobo de Wall Street, fue nominado al premio de la Academia al Mejor Actor de Reparto. So, what do you guys think? ¿Qué piensan acerca de esta cita?
Is he someone that has been given a role and he's used it or acted in it or performed in it so long that it's a commonplace? Like if we see Superman, everybody's familiar with Superman, old and young, and you can't imagine him being in any other any other character. And so maybe this is what he's trying to get away from.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a what's it called? Role actor. So what's the term for it, Luis? I'm trying to
Character actor.
Character actor. Basically, it's a lot of them out there that you can only imagine them being that kind of role. Like for example, The Rock is one of action movies, right? So he's always stuck in that role. And this guy is telling us to, as not just as a role, he probably used it as well, but also as a career choice. He's having that in mind. Like, I'm going to try to surprise people in every movie. I'm going to try different roles, right? He doesn't want to be stuck with the same person and become, like you were saying, the character that everybody expects.
Yeah, I think the word you were looking for was typecast. So he's always cast.
There you go, as well.
As a certain type of character, or he used to be, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. River in the chat added, for me, it's hard to figure out how to create surprise in my work. It feels gratuitous because I'm going to subvert expectations for the sake of it. It's a skill I'd like to develop.
Exactly. That's what we're trying to do, especially this round.
Oui, oui.
¿Alguien más que tenga opiniones acerca de esta cita? Probablemente digan sí, no, a lo mejor. Because for me, I have seen, like, I had this period of time I was watching a lot of movies, and I end up like hating many of the actors because I only see them playing one role. And to me, acting is you want to put your shoes in different people and want to make people believe something different every time. But I understand also why people, especially if you're investing millions in a movie, maybe you already know what the result is going to be like.
Mm-hmm. Alicia wrote in the chat, it's important to continue to redefine yourself. Everyone has expectations of who you are, but you have the power to develop into whoever or whatever you want. That doesn't define who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go, guys.
Yeah,
Well,
I think it is interesting too to think of it maybe in this way, right? Like, basically what I'm reading out of this is that Jonah Hill, he doesn't think of himself as an underdog anymore in the comedy field because he's done it so much that people recognize him as a funny guy, right? So he maybe started off to make a name for himself in one genre, but now, he wants to expand, and maybe it's about kind of giving himself that challenge, right, of growing and developing as an artist. So that's
and
sort of,
Zelda?
yeah. Go ahead, Zelda.
Yeah, I'm trying to find my controls here. So, as some of you might know, I'm trained as a graphic artist, which means I use a lot of visuals to express, communication, design, more for commercial purposes, but there's an artistry involved. And I've had a lot of conversations with students, with clients about the shock factor. Many people like to use nudity or opposing images to shock, to create the unexpected. But I think that's also become cliche because it's been done so much. So for me, the important thing becomes who you're talking to and the authenticity of things. I think it's a little bit along the lines of what was it? Let me see. River was saying, how do we do this without just resorting to it because we're trying to shock people? I think for me, what is important is what you're trying to say. And if it's not particularly shocking, that's okay too. You can say very simply, be direct. It's more about why you're saying it, who you're saying it for. I think Jonah Hill, maybe he got a lot of traction, and maybe our work may be appreciated for one thing, but it's okay to flex other muscles and say, hey, I can do other things. It's just you have to figure out a way to get your message across and have people accept what you're trying to say, either as a drama, a tragic figure, or as a visual poet versus a written poet. It's a process and it's trial and error. I don't think it's something that you just figure out overnight.
I think it's something similar to being you can call them a chef or a cook, but it's the presentation. I was telling a lady about making a meatloaf, and basically anyone that knows how to cook or put something together knows about a meatloaf. But I told her to curl, what do you call carrots? You know how you curl a carrot? They have this machine. and just to run it along the sides, and like garnish, and you see some food shows, they put little green stuff on top, different things, So it's a presentation. So just in writing, several people like us ourselves gathered here, but we have different opinions, but there's no wrong or right. It who's, like she's just said, it depends on who's going to receive the writing. Who are you writing for? And so that's basically it for me.
Yeah, you definitely are right, because Jonah Hill's talking about the audience. He's not talking about just himself. He's saying, okay, people already expect me to be, let's say in your terms, spicy, right? As a type of food. But they saw me coming and they already expect me to be spicy, right? But all of a sudden, I'm all sour, right? So that kind of the thing he's talking about, that getting out of that comfort zone, especially as an actor or also as an audience, we're also expecting that person to be that person, to that character, right? Or an artist, right? Like you see a Picasso and you're like, okay, I'm expecting that type of painting, right? So yeah, and definitely there's muscles and techniques that we are so used to, and we're good at him. Like he's saying, man, he's just being a little humble, but he has done a lot of good stuff, right? So he's saying like, yeah, I'm good at it, but I'm good with those techniques, but I'm gonna try to do something else, right? And so that's kind of the message, right? And let's move on because we have ground to cover. So for this, I'm gonna ask one of the audience. Let's see who wants to volunteer to read this poem.
I'll read it.
Thank you very much.
I want more than an accent surprise among the tissue natives. I want to feel part of the barrier herd and feel the compartment love. I am tired of the point stares as if all but me were institution the same. I am unique and not a brainstorm ashamed, but not in any miscarriage of form out of place.
Thank you. And the title for this is Out of Offense. And before we discuss the piece, I'm going to ask somebody to give it a go in Spanish, if you can. If no, it's either me or Luis.
Yo lo puedo leer.
Muchas gracias.
Okay.
Cuando pueda.
Ok. Quiero ser más que un acento sorpresa entre los nativos de tejidos. Quiero sentirme parte del rebaño, barrera, y sentir el amor de compartimiento. Estoy cansado de las miradas asignadas, como si todos menos yo fueran institucionalmente iguales. Soy único y no una tormenta de ideas avergonzada, pero no en ningún aborto de forma fuera de lugar.
Muchas gracias. El título, Fuera de Ofensa, por George Truly, como dicen. Y ¿qué piensan? What do you guys think about this piece?
Okay, let me try. I want to be more than an accent surprise. That surprise is supposed to stand out, but then he says, or she says, who is that? Is it a man or a woman? Anyway, they say, I want to be more than an accent. I don't want to be just like a hearsay or a routine. I want there to be a surprise, maybe they're expecting one thing, but all of a sudden, bravo, 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 and it says among the tissue native. So among, say, a cultural group or family or theatrical group, they just don't want to be a part of it. They want to stand out. There's like how do you say those people? Burlesque shows. They always have that one person in the front. That does the well, that stand out. I'm thinking coochie coochie. You know,
I was gonna do the sound.
yeah,
Sorry, but you did it for me. Thank
looking
you.
at the cowboy movies and the girls that do those can dances, but then there's always the star that does the how do you say the star part? Hold on, please. Come in. I'm sorry. I couldn't put you on hold. But anyway, it's the ones that always do the how do you say the star part when the others are just like tissues. You know what I mean?
Yep. I cannot argue with that.
That was my son that just came in and he brought me some food, so I couldn't cut you off. But
Thank
that's
you.
all.
What is this? I have always said them are the ones with the prettiest legs. Okay, yeah, I'm reading from the chat, guys. Anybody else who wants to speak on these ones? ¿Alguien más que quiera hablar de esta pieza?
We have a question in the chat from Alicia. The question is, was this poem written in Spanish first or English?
It's in English. It started in English.
Oh. And then we have a hand raised from Zelda.
Sella?
You can hear me. Are my headphones not working?
So, you know, every now and then I have this devil's advocate going. I'm like, what's
My
so
headphones aren't
wrong with being
working.
an accent surprise? I don't know that I necessarily want to be among the tissue natives. So I'm trying to figure out, you know, the appoint stares as if all but me were institution the same. To me, that is not such a bad thing. And I don't know if it's a personal thing. I mean, I'm just putting that thought out there. Is it so bad to stand out, even if one is being stared at?
It's a question to have. Yeah, definitely. It just depends. I'm gonna keep out of this one for the time being. So I'm gonna let you guys talk. So I'm gonna give you more of the details later. But yeah, definitely. I like the way you're reading this. It definitely it gives me a smile to it. Anybody else who wants to speak on this one?
I think it kind of addresses where a lot of times people like when the first line with the accent, it makes me think of people are often instantly stereotyped. So I think it addresses that, how people automatically, kind of going back to what Louise said earlier about typecasting, and you know, people get typecast in real life, like, oh, you're this because of the color of your skin or your sex or where you're from. So I think this poem kind of addresses that there's a deeperness than, you know, what people will initially take in, because they tend to just cling to the stereotypes.
Yeah, I think you know, the poem itself is kind of, you know, different in its approach and its way of expressing itself. In the chat, we actually have a little piece of feedback from Mojde. Mojde is suggesting that the line "I am unique" maybe read as "I am me," and you know, that's obviously a good little thing to add in there. It's always good to get feedback on our poetry. And we also had River, who wanted to share some thoughts as well. So River, whenever you are ready.
Are you all able to hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, that was so weird. Yeah, so I actually had looked at the materials before this class, and when you read it here, I noticed a change. And I'm sorry if somebody else discussed this or mentioned this, because I was a little bit trying to figure out what was going on. But in this version, you say, "I want to feel part of the barrier herd," HERD, and in the other version, it's HEARD.
Yeah,
And
what's a typo?
Well, I was looking at the Spanish version, and in the Spanish version, you have escuchada, which is closer to HEARD. I wasn't sure if you made that change intentionally or whether you were going for escuchada or if you were going for el grupo de animales. I wasn't sure which one of those you were going for if you changed that intentionally.
Yeah, it just happens that because I'm working on this project and it has already its flip to it and I had to translate it. So I missed that kind of misspelling until I kind of was reviewing it today or yesterday. Like, oops, that one. Because when you read the, well, I'll explain actually now since I think we're out of comments for now. So let's get into it. So this is kind of how these poems started. Thanks. Nice transition, River. So this is how I started this poem. I want to be more than an accent walking amongst the usual natives. I want to feel part of the great herd and feel the neighborly love. I am tired of the typical stares, as if all but me were exactly the same. I am unique and not a bit ashamed, but not in any shape or form out of place. And the title is Out of Place. And you might notice a little difference here. And I'll get into it in a little bit. I mean, translate in Spanish, and again, it's gonna take some time to do this, but we'll get to it. Quiero ser, como les decía, esto es como comenzó el poema que comenzamos a leer ahorita. Quiero ser más que un acento andante entre los nativos habituales. Quiero sentirme parte del gran rebaño y sentir el amor al prójimo. Estoy cansado de las típicas miradas, como si todos menos yo fueran exactamente iguales. Soy único y no me avergüenzo ni un poco, pero no en ninguna forma fuera de lugar. Título: Fuera de lugar. Y como les voy a explicar, so I'm going to explain a little bit. It's going to take us some time to get to it. But before I want to go into this, it's just a little refresher, just to get us there. And it's adjectives, right? I'm going to explain what the adjectives are. And again, most of us know, but it's just a little refresher. A word typically serving as a modifier of a noun to denote a quality of the thing named, to indicate its quality or extent, or to specify, a thing as distinct from something else. So basically provides more information about our subject, right? And here's a couple of examples about a red dress. And again, try to keep in mind that we're talking about like extra details, but also take a note on the actual subject, right? For example, here's dress, right? And then I have 8 apples, 8 being the adjective, right? And then we have the apples are the main subject, right? Then the food is delicious. My brother is naughty. The movie we watched last night was boring. Pablo Picasso is a fine artist. And so this is kind of what happened, right? After finding the adjectives, I changed in the pieces that we saw at the beginning, I changed them for unexpected words. And here are the words that we're talking about. For example, here, feels a little more a verb, but still here. For example, habituales, or let me put it in English, walking, usual. So these are the words that I lined up. And then you'll see actually what happened to them. And what happened to them is the part that we're going to discuss right now. So unexpected words, and to do just that, I use the following website. And again, I'm going to go into the website. Let me just read this. To generate a random words, try to use this, the first one, then it comes up. But if you must, 3 is a try. So basically, let me show you how this works. And again, for anybody who's going to use it, just copy. I don't know if this line was extra, but you can still use that. And copy, and you paste it on your, basically in your search. And let me start sharing these for now so I can share the actual part that I want to show you guys. So basically copy and paste. Where's the sharing?
It's already in the chat
Here's.
as well.
Thank you guys. Okay, just want to show you how it actually the website looks. It's really easy. It has a couple of things that you can modify. I say don't let it be as it is, right? So this website, what it does is just generates random words. So you click it here, generate random words, boom, divided, build. So what I did is you see the lines that I put in each word that I felt like I wanted to change, especially adjectives. I aim for the adjectives mostly. Maybe here or there, a verb or something else. And then I changed it I tried to be the first one, but sometimes the word, it really doesn't go with the line, but I'm trying to stick with the randomness of it, right? Trying to get something out of it, right? So this is what we're gonna use today. And most likely you're not gonna be able to see how I click it, but this is what I'm gonna be doing today, just because I wanna show you the actual Word document instead of this. But this is the website I'm gonna be using, and you can open it on your computer, anything else, okay? Let's get back to it. En español también lo voy a poner. Hold on a second, stop sharing, and let's get back.
River was asking in the chat if there's a Spanish version of the random word generator.
Yes, most likely it is. I'll probably put it in the chat. I mean, in the classroom later, because I just realized that today. But you can also translate. That's also a possibility. Hold on a second. What am I doing? Oh, hell. Ok, como les decía, en español vamos a darle un refrescadita a los adjetivos. Y pues sí, la mayoría sabe, pero por si acaso, y siempre ayuda. Una palabra que normalmente sirve como modificador de un sustantivo para denotar una calidad de la cosa nombrada, para indicar su cantidad o extensión, o para especificar una cosa como distinta de otra, básicamente para proporcionar más información de lo que estamos hablando. Y quiero que también se den cuenta de eso, de que hay sujetos, ¿verdad? Y es lo que intentamos quedarnos. Por ejemplo, aquí estamos. Compré un vestido rojo, rojo es el adjetivo, y para la boda, pero realmente es el vestido, es el sujeto, ¿verdad? Después tengo 8 manzanas. 8 es el adjetivo y manzanas es lo que estamos hablando. La comida es deliciosa, aquí es la comida, después deliciosa es lo que estamos buscando, ¿verdad? Mi hermano es travieso. La película que vimos anoche fue aburrida. Pablo Picasso es un buen, y aquí es como lo que hice, artista. Y es básicamente lo que ven al principio como escribí. Aquí está. Y eso fue lo que comenzamos a rayar. O a veces verbos, pero la mayoría son adjetivos. Y como les decía, al encontrar eso, los subrayé y después usé una página web que es la que acabamos de abrir. Y esa página lo que hace es de que apretas el botón de generar y te genera una palabra básicamente aleatoria en la que puedes usar. Y como les decía, nada más vamos a intentar lo primero que salga, usarlo. Pero si no, pues unas 2, 3 veces hasta que más o menos encaje, ¿verdad? Pero ahorita lo vamos a ver, no hay problema. Ahorita poquito a poco, nada más quería enseñarles eso. So far, any questions? Most of them are going to be solved in a little bit too as well, but
Yes. I have a question.
Bring it on, Luis.
I understand tango, ocho, and how you say apples in Spanish, man. So
Apples, manzanas.
Okay. But I could you do
Manzanas.
it in that line in English?
This is the same one that we went here. I have 8 apples. ¿Sí? Tengo 8 manzanas. Y lo que estamos, so what we are looking for is 8, basically adjetivo. So again, in English, it will be, I have 8. That's giving us extra information, right?
Oh,
And
yeah, I
then
know 8
apples.
is ocho. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know tango is I have, me. I have it.
Yeah. Tango, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I was trying to understand what is it, because you were, my understanding that you were saying that take the adjective which describes and then that's where I got lost when we went over to the other form.
Yep.
Yeah.
So basically, what the form that or the website that I opened, you click it, and it's gonna provide you with like a random word, and those are the words that we're gonna be using in our poems, right? We're gonna basically replace some words for random, right? And with that in mind, let's get into the actual exercise because we're gonna get into it. And it sounds weird, but once you go through this, you're gonna see like it's easy. It's an easy thing. Just explaining the concept is a little tricky, but we'll get to it. So first, I wanna get you into this. You have to take risks. We will only understand the miracle of life fully when we allow the unexpected to happen. And this is a quote from Pablo Coelho. And we have talked about him before, so we don't need to talk too much about him. En español, hay que correr riesgos. Solo lo entenderemos plenamente al milagro de la vida cuando permitamos que suceda lo inesperado. Esta cita viene de Pablo Coelho y como decía, ya la hemos discutido en varias de nuestras clases. Buen escritor. One of my favorites. But so what do you guys think about this quote? Let's hear those thoughts. Quiero escuchar esos pensamientos.
I like the first one that it looks like I can understand. You have to take risks. We will only understand the miracles of life fully when we allow the unexpected to happen. So getting out of the place of expectancy, how do you say, complacency? People always say, step out of the box. And it says that if you don't seek, you won't find. So if you just doing the same old, I mean, you get bored, you get stressed, maybe frustrated, but keep going forward, no matter the age, culture, or whatever. Always look for a higher point, increased level in life.
Correct. Anybody else wants to talk about this one? ¿Alguien más que quiera hablar de esta? Well, let me get a little of my thoughts on this one. So basically, there's paths that we don't take because we're so used to the highway, we know from point A to point B how to get there. But if we take those unexpected trails, there's such a lot of surprises and treasures because those are the things that we don't think about. Those are the unexpected, right? So to try things without having too much of those expectations will give us that surprise. That's where a lot of the new ideas come from. So it's always have that in mind that we don't have to just go from point A to point B. Maybe sometimes we just have to walk the weird path and don't expect anything until it comes to us. Because without that chance that we're taking, we're never going to come up with that idea because we think of things that we already used to. And by us taking that risk, it definitely opens those chances because it's about chances. It's like things that you don't expect will appear, but only by doing that, you're going to end up there. You cannot just sit there and think about it. You have to walk those weird paths.
Yeah. In the chat, we have a comment from San Juanita who wrote, "It reminded me of The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost."
There you go.
Yeah. And then I have a little story that I'd like to share. But first, San Juanita added, he ends the poem by saying, "And that has made all the difference." Yeah. And then,
yes.
Yeah. And we have also a hand raised from Zelda. Zelda, whenever you're ready.
I am trying, because I tend to be a bit more on the concrete side, I'm trying to relate it to the exercise and what we were discussing before. Is this a notion of word association, free form thinking, and the poem kind of starts to take form by playing with words?
Yes. And again, we'll get into that. Like, definitely, I'm gonna give you a little bit of the why, but definitely you're in the right path. That's why we have all these quotes. We're getting to that point, and definitely you're right. It's about word association, right?
And River wrote in the chat, I think the word risk is important here because it isn't without consequences or stakes. It's easy to say, but harder to do. Y en español también nos brindó su traducción. Creo que la palabra riesgo es importante porque riesgo no es algo sin consecuencias. Es fácil decir, pero trabajo hacerlo. Which is true. I think that the key word is risk in this because it has a potential for something, right? There's a consequence to risks, taking risks. Now, consequences in themselves are not always, they're not inherently bad or good. They're just the result of taking an action. And it's kind of like the conversation that I was having with my dad last week, just before the $1 billion Powerball drawing. I was telling my dad, I was asking him, kind of teasing him, saying, are you going to, go get a Powerball ticket? And my dad was like, well, maybe not. If it's going to happen, if I'm going to be a billionaire, I'll become a billionaire. It'll just happen. And so I began teasing my dad, telling him, well, it's not something that is going to happen just by itself. You kind of have to put yourself in the position for it to happen to you. So it's just as much about, being not only in the right place at the right time, but it's also about putting yourself in the right place at the right time, and building towards that. It's also similar to a story that we had actually on our last episode of the podcast, of the Art Block podcast, with Javier Hernandez, who is a comic book artist. And his comic book, El Muerto, was adapted several years ago now into a feature-length film. And, the same thing, if it wasn't for the fact that he had put in the work to actually, have a producer come and see his work and learn about his work, if it wasn't for that, somebody wouldn't have, that producer wouldn't have known about him, and they wouldn't have put up the money to actually turn his comic book into a feature film. So there's definitely a lot to be said about putting yourself in the right place at the right time.
So to kind of follow up, developing your thought, my reaction to what you just said is that there is a notion of, what do you call it? Calculated risk. You have to, it's not random. So it's not this random thing that, oh, I'm going to take this risk. I mean, maybe you can do that, and maybe something will happen that you didn't. Those, they call them in art aha moments, where you're like, let me try this, let me try that. I do, from my personal experience, find that the risk is more of a process, and putting yourself out there and developing that risk. It's not only fulfilling, but it's also, you learn from it, and it becomes a very productive process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like almost how it's about like experimentation, right? Taking a risk in art, at least, is about experimenting and seeing what works and what doesn't. And I think Zelda brings up a great term for us. It's the aha moment. It's the moment that things just kind of make sense and they work. So yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, Zelda. And yeah, definitely, Zelda. This is a process, and talking about process, you guys can see, right? I don't know if I'm sharing this correctly.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, excellent. So this is what we are doing right now. Class exercise. As a class, read the following poem, then find all the adjectives on each line, or verbs if there is not adjectives or so on. Then change them to random words out of place. So again, we're going to try to keep the subject in each line if possible. So we'll play with that. No worries. Ejercicio. Como clase, lee el siguiente poema. Luego, busque todos los adjetivos en cada línea o verbo si no hay adjetivos. Luego, cámbielo por palabras aleatorias, palabras fuera de lugar. So, como ven, vamos a buscar por encima más que nada el sujeto y después vamos a cambiar o el adjetivo o el verbo o lo que podamos cambiar, okay? But first, before, we are going to read the poem. And this is a piece of one of our great students. It's called The Pretty House by Mojde Amini. So for this, who wants to read it? Who wants to give it a go?
We actually have Mojde here. Mojde, would you be interested in reading for us your poem? Yeah, okay. She's
I'll read it for
requesting.
her if she wants me to, if she don't mind.
Yeah, she's requesting someone else. So go ahead, Miss Lois, whenever you're ready.
Okay, The Pretty House. Oh, I messed all that up. It's pretty. I like what it's saying. No, I like it. Yeah, there's an atmosphere going on that's hovering over the once how do you say, light-filled, joyful establishment, facility, whatever you want to call it. But now it's coming apart. What's making it come apart?
I don't know.
That's a mystery. That's a mystery. I
Mojde is
like
here.
that one. I'm sorry I messed it up, Mister. I'm sorry.
That's all right. We're gonna give it one last go in Spanish. For this one, Luis, can you help me with this one?
Sure.
Just so our Spanish back, para los que hablan español, aquí está la traducción de la pieza de Mojde, una de nuestras grandes alumnas.
Mhm. Okay. La Casa Bonita por Mojde Amini. Las paredes de la Casa Bonita se están hinchando. Se lo está tragando todo. Las sonrisas, todas las risas en cualquier ritmo. Las escaleras de la Casa Bonita están cerrando, talando todo. La música, toda. Las canciones sin ritmo. Las ventanas de la casa bastante oscura están subiendo al cielo, brillando en todo, rompiendo clases, todas, los huesos escondidos adentro.
Thank you, Luis. Thank you. Both Luis
Thank you.
and Lois. Got this time.
Wonderful. I really like
So, yes. So for these, again, practicing, we're gonna see that this is not that hard. So with that in mind, we're gonna start again. Unfortunately, como les decía en español, no vamos a traducir esta parte, pero la pueden seguir en su pampleto o los pueden ver aquí y está traducida en el formato que les dio Luis en la clase. So again, we probably not gonna be having time for doing it in Spanish, but again, they have the other version in Spanish if they want to follow that. It's the same line per line anyways. Okay, so without further ado, let's start with this piece. Again, once you start using maybe some of these techniques, like Zelda was saying, it's a part of discovering, it's a part of basically the process is going to help us. But it's still, maybe later you're going to probably just change lines of one of your lines in your poem. But for this one, I want to change one word of all the lines. So we're gonna either go for adjective or verb, or if it's not any other one, we have to change something. Is that the challenge that we're gonna take? Okay. So for this one, the first line, what word are we gonna change? And this is a class, so your call, guys.
River is suggesting the word walls.
Walls. But again, we cannot change walls because that's the actual subject.
Didn't you say that we're gonna look for adjectives?
Yeah, adjectives or verbs, but in this line, the most important thing is walls. And again, the reason I chose not to take the subjects or that is because I want to keep the essence of the poem still, right? So that's kind of. But this one is it's a hard line, I know. So
why don't we just go with the article? The
okay. Yes,
yeah.
I was with you. That's the one I chose to. Okay, so we're gonna put a line again, and then we're gonna move to the next one, the pretty house, which is the one you guys want to change. There you go. I see the Alicia, good job.
So it doesn't matter what it is.
It kind of matters.
I mean, because you said it was adjectives and verbs. But
yeah.
now it's not adjectives and verbs.
Well, it's a pretty, right?
Yeah.
Well, I know, but yeah, okay.
Yes.
I'm a little bit confused.
And again, some lines are going to be a little tricky, but the only thing that I'm trying to keep to not to take away is the subjects on each line, because that's kind of give us the essence of the poem. So we change things in the poem, still we're going to end up having some of that subject, right? That's the only reason I'm keeping those ones. But again, you can try a different way, but I feel like that keeps some of the essence still. Okay. So pretty, I'm going to underline it, and then we're going to move to the next one. What is the thing that we're going to change? Swollen. There you go. Okay. Now let's move to the next one. This one is going to be fun. Come on, people. Come on. This is a teamwork.
I mean, we're going to change verbs and it would be swallowing, no?
Okay. Let's go for that.
Swallowing.
I think the subject would kind of be all, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then the next one.
Abraham, this is where that word generator is really helpful, because I'm thinking too much.
We're going to use that.
Yeah.
But right now, we're just going to find those parts. It's kind of steps. This is the first step. It's getting those words outlined. Okay. Then everything's going to make sense once we hit the ground. But right now, step by step. And this one is the next line.
Smiles.
There you go, sir.
That comes from Alicia.
Wouldn't smiles be the subject?
This
Could
is
be.
true. It could be, depending on how.
Your choice, guys. I mean, your choice. To me, I kind of like the all kind of repetition of it. So I will kind of want to keep that, right? But again, it's those decisions that are going to help the process, right? To see what's going to work, right?
Okay.
So good. Let's keep it. But yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay, then next line. It says rhythms.
Rhythms.
You guys say, let's go for it. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Gonna try to go slow, fast at it, but still. Then we have the next line. Oh,
I would say of.
off. Okay. I like it. Okay. Next.
Pretty.
Pretty. Okay.
Got 2 for pretty.
Too pretty. Next one.
Well, we got
Shutting.
1 vote for down, 1 vote for shutting.
Your call, guys.
One more vote.
I'm gonna take one more vote. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Shutting.
Okay, down describes the shutting, so down.
I mean, I wrote the rules, so I guess. Okay, let's keep it down. Okay,
You're the boss.
it's a teamwork, but it's still good. Good job.
Mhm.
Then cutting down all. Come on, people. Come on, people.
Go with cutting.
Cutting would be the
Cutting?
subject to me.
Yeah.
Okay, verb.
Yeah, the verb this time.
Oops, sorry. Wrong button. Then the music. Oh,
Music is subject. So you're gonna do the
them. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's give it. Good job, Luis. Luis is getting on fire. I see.
Yeah, right.
Getting the hang of it. Then the songs with no rhythms.
Uh-oh. Song is subject.
I'd say no.
No? Okay.
Yeah, we got two votes for no. Right.
Okay. Excellent. Then we have the windows off. Interest. Off?
Of.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, what's up here?
Dark.
Dark?
Dark.
Excellent. Ah, nice work, T. Are climbing to the sky.
Uh-oh.
Climbing.
Timing.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Climbing? Yes.
But that's
That's
the
people.
adjective, isn't it?
That would be a verb.
Okay, be a
I'll
verb.
say that. Yeah.
Yeah. But again,
And it's climbing to the sky, right? So
and
we're
you know,
keeping it there.
the important thing here for anyone who's still feeling a little confused is
Mhm.
The idea is that you want to preserve the subject of the
Mhm.
phrase. So it could be
Okay.
either a verb. Verbs are normally conjugated. So that you
Mhm.
either have an ing, an ed, that type of ending to them.
Okay.
Or
so-
it could be the adjective, which is
Adjective.
the
Yeah.
modifier of the noun.
So the
Yep.
sky would be the subject.
So we basically are keeping the subject and we're taking away what gives the extra information, right?
Okay.
So shining on all.
And River is advocating for the word on this line.
On. Okay. Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I'm pro that. Why not? Then cracking classes all.
So it'd be cracking, wouldn't it?
Okay.
Cracking. Yep.
Yes. Let's get cracking. Then we have the last line. We made it down. I
Hmm.
think, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Hidden.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah. Yes. There we go. We made it to the first step.
Yay!
Oh, second step, but first step in this class. Okay. So now the magic. We're gonna use the website. And again, I'm gonna have the website in my computer. I'm just gonna press. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm just gonna press, and whatever comes, I'll show you. I just don't want to show both things. Otherwise, your screen will look really tiny. Okay, let me get to that website thing. I'll put it here next to it.
We've got some excitement
And
building.
excellent. Let's see what we come up with. So we are starting with the first word. I'm going to press it and I'm going to show you again. As a theme, we have choices. We can press it 3 times. But once everybody agrees, we're going to let it be. Okay. That's kind of the punch. Okay. So D, you're going to change. And what it's giving me? Sorry. Gloom. So that's going to be the word that it's giving me.
So how are you doing this? I don't understand.
Basically, I have a website that
Yes, I know you have a
it's on
website.
Yep.
But
And it has a button that says generate random word. I click it and it's going to pop up a word. And that's the one I'm putting in each
and you
of the
typed it
words.
or you typed it by itself?
No, I copy it and I paste it on the Word document. But it's the one that the computer gave me, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just doing it for you guys. And yeah. So that's the word. Do you guys want to keep it?
River is asking, do we get to see all 3 choices or do we only get additional choices?
I'm going to
if we
say
reject the
whatever feels better. I feel let's take the challenge of it because I think too much choices is going to give us, it's going to take that away. So
I think
whenever
we
you
should
feel
keep it.
Yeah.
You keep it? Okay, let's keep it.
Blue walls.
I do want to ask, I mean, if, you know, just for, I don't know, a sense of grammar sensibility, gloom is a noun, right? So I'm sorry, it's an adjective, but the real adjective is gloomy as opposed to the gloom. I'm sorry, gloom is a noun. So gloomy is the adjective. So if we choose the word gloom, can we agree that we're going to modify it because we have walls there, or is that not considered part of the game?
We could, but the reason I kept them, like, even when you saw it, that's why people say, like, do you use Spanish first to create the first poem? I left it on purpose so people will ask and I say, like, this is how I made this poem. I generated the words, so that's when I'm giving the extra rawness to it. I'm gonna just keep it as it comes, so that way we don't think too much about it. And again, later on, when if you want to incorporate it into your techniques, you can definitely put it the way you want. But it's kind of we're gonna try to keep it as raw as possible. Okay, but yeah, you're right. That's what I thought too when I was making this up. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So pretty. Okay, I'm gonna click it. So it's popping up for, oh wow. I like the surprise of these things. Hold on, let me show you. Suburbs. Oh wow. That's lucky, right?
I like that.
It's up to you guys. You guys gonna keep it?
Yes.
Keep.
Yes.
Keep it.
Okay.
Keep it.
Wow. I should buy lottery tickets. Okay. Next one. Are getting swollen. Let's get swollen. Let's see what it comes up with. Oh, I don't even know what this is, but some of you might. So I'm gonna put it here. Nfix. Do anybody knows this one? So I don't have to Google it.
What it means.
Change it. I think.
Hold on. First, I want to know what it is. Anybody knows what is Nfix?
Let me look it up.
Okay.
Let's
If not, somebody of you.
I mean,
Whoever can
because we
come up
need
with
to
the
know what
answer.
we're.
I kind of like to know what it is now.
I think
Vamos a ver.
to put something on, to fix something onto something.
To
Nfix.
fasten or fix by piercing or thrusting in.
Oh, see, I kind of like it, but it's up to you guys. Say no.
So it's like the word. It's yeah. A synonym would be something like insert, right? Or getting insert.
Yeah.
Okay. So no, you say no. So I'm gonna click it one more time. Boom. Ooh, you should have kept that.
Oh
Hold on a
no, what do
second.
we get?
Hold on. Layout. We have one more time. It's either you keep this one or the next one. So
I think we should
that's
get
kinda-
another one.
It's starting to feel like a game show.
yeah, right.
Deal or
What's
no deal.
behind door number 1? Ooh, you got a dishwasher. That could be good. I don't know.
I'm waiting.
Okay. So what's the answer?
No.
Keep it or next one?
New one.
New
I
one?
want to try
Ready,
another
keep.
one.
I
Yeah.
have one more.
Okay. Seems like it. Okay.
All right, there's a
You
chance.
guys could have, I don't know. We'll see. Oh, I don't know. We'll see if you guys like this one.
Oh
But
no, I'm afraid. Oh,
are getting
That don't even make
crushed.
sense.
It's up. That's what happens. That's the point of it.
and then
Oh,
what?
wow.
We keep it or we change it?
No, we're gonna keep this one. This is it. That's the third try. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's see what happened.
I think at this point we probably should just keep college.
Oh no, we're gonna keep it.
Yeah.
That's what happens. That's the point of it. That's the randomness of it, right?
Okay.
Okay, so it's swallowing all.
Yeah,
So
you-
let's see what's coming up for swallowing. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is what I'm getting.
Are getting
You guys like it? Okay. We're gonna keep it.
there's
Yeah,
some-
grief is fine. Because it's college, so it's grief.
I'm trying to keep the same. Okay. And next one. Sorry, I'm trying to keep a little bit of the format alive. Then smiles. We're gonna see what comes up. Ooh, wow. Sorry. This is
Oh, we
in front of.
skipped one. We skipped one.
Did we? No, it's
Grief.
grief.
No, we're good.
Grief.
No, that's
No,
the
we
one
did
we
it.
got.
That's the one we
Oh,
got.
okay.
So this is what we got.
The mosquito.
Mosquito.
I got
You
it.
guys, I like it, but it's up to you
I
guys.
like that too.
Keep as a river. Keep.
Keep. There's a keep.
Okay,
Yeah.
we keep it. I like that one.
As River said, it's almost as if the word generator has a vision for the poem already.
Yeah, kind of. Yes. Okay, the laughters in any rhythms. So we're gonna change rhythms for. Ooh,
Uh-oh.
wow. I like this so much. So this is what we're getting.
Wardrobe.
Wardrobe.
It's like,
You guys like it? I don't know. It's up to you guys. Okay. So up to you guys. You want to keep
Weird.
wardrobe or you want to try another one?
It's weird already. It's okay, I guess. It's up to Mustard.
there's already
Okay.
a keep.
Keep. Okay. Sorry, I cannot see all that's happening in the chat, so I'm depending on you guys to let me know. Okay. So the next one, it's off. The stairs off. Ooh, that's gonna be tricky, huh? Ooh. Okay. Wow. Maybe the computer is listening.
Uh-oh.
The stairs full.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Oh, you like it? Okay,
That's good.
okay, see, people like it.
Keep.
Okay, the next one, the pretty madhouse. Wow, wow, this is interesting. Oh, let me
Pretty,
move the
right?
chat. Let's see. Oh, wow. Oh, hold on. Which one I'm changing? Pretty, right?
Pretty.
Okay.
Pretty.
I almost skipped one. So this is what he gave me. It's up to you guys. Your call.
The stairs full, the jaw madhouse.
The keeper, definitely.
Give it. Okie dokie.
That was a definitely.
Okay. So we're going for our shutting down. So we're moving you down to. Oh wow. All of them are surprising me.
Shutting down.
Shutting
Our shutting council.
console. A shutting console.
Shutting
Oh,
council.
Zelda likes it.
This
Keep.
is-
Okay. We have two people said keep, I think. So I'm
shutting
gonna keep it.
council.
Then we're going for cutting down all. So we're moving cutting for.
Our shutting council.
Oh,
And
interesting.
write down all.
So cutting is gonna be moved to.
Speaker.
Up to you guys. You want to keep it or you want
Shutting
next one?
council. Speakers.
Zelda likes it. Who else?
Can we put an S on there?
No. We're not gonna move SS anything. We're gonna leave it as
Okay.
it is.
Okay.
At least for the
So-
time being, Miss Lois.
Okay. Sela said yes, and nobody contradicted. So, oh, shoops. Sorry. Mm.
Oh yeah, okay. We're cutting the console speaker down. Okay.
Okay, now
Yeah.
the next one is the music. Oh, so we're gonna change the four. Hold on. Hold on. What is it? Oh, here.
All rubbish.
So that's what we're
That's
getting.
good. That's good.
You guys like it? Okay.
Yeah, we are shutting
gonna keep it.
console speaker down. All rubbish.
Okay. Next
Okay.
one, the songs with no rhythm. So we're changing no for possibly. Ooh,
Another good one.
I don't know. They're just surprising me.
The songs
You're
with
cool, guys.
With cheap rhymes. Hey, that's good. Chip rhymes.
You like it?
Yeah,
cheap
that's
rhythms.
chip.
Rhythms.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheap
Rhythms.
rhythms.
Okay. Okay. So the next one, the windows off.
Off.
So off, we're gonna change for. Ooh. Okay. So you guys call it.
Yeah.
The Windows punch.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
We're gonna
I'm
keep it.
not sure.
Don't mean to.
Okay. Then the pretty dark house.
The Windows
We're gonna
punch,
change for dark.
the
the-
pretty.
Hold on a second. This is what he gave me. So you call.
Office.
Tilda likes it. Who else? Okay. You know what it contradicts? I'm gonna keep it. Okay. Then we have our climbing to the sky. So climbing is gonna be changed to
Or cupped. I don't know.
no likey. So I'm assuming, try again. So we have, hold on a second.
I guess it could be cupped to the sky. Or technologically to the sky.
Yes, or another one.
that's
We have one
good.
more try. So it's up to you guys.
That technologically to the sky. You know, rockets and.
Somebody
that.
says one more try.
Okay.
Let's give it a try. Why
Give
not?
it a try.
Okay.
One more
Oh,
try.
okay. Hold on a second. So you gave me.
Okay.
Yeah.
so,
Where's that?
so that's what happened. It's
took
not the
the risk.
lottery. It's like the machines.
You took the risk, and
Yep.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
have to live with
I
the
like
consequence.
and shining on all. So we're gonna change on for. Ooh.
Uh-oh. Here goes a boo-boo.
It's up to you guys. You have two more chances, or you want to keep it. Zelda says yes. Who else? 1, 2, 3. Stays.
Shiny exempt. Oh.
Got a couple of keepers there.
Well, if it's discussed, I mean, they exempt, so leave it.
Yeah.
Then cracking classes all. So we're gonna go for cracking.
All that goes
So
together.
it's giving me. There you go. Oh, you guys want another one? Up to you.
That makes sense.
Does it?
Okay. Another. Everybody says another.
The sky.
Who votes for another?
Shining
Okay.
exempt all happen classes.
So this is the one that came out after.
Yeah, that one's good.
Okay.
Fragment.
Yes. Oh, you guys wanna try one more?
We got two votes to keep.
We've been so
Okay.
unlucky when we do the third one.
Yeah. Not like that, because that's the whole point. It's like to try to keep it as it comes. It's better if to push it more, but it's all right. The last one, the bones hidden indoors. So we're gonna move hidden for. This is what he gave me first. Your call, guys. Silla says, yeah, one more boat. We're keeping it.
The bones.
Yeah, I like it. C.
side.
Okay.
Two votes for C.
We're good. So, with that in mind, we're going to ask for somebody to read the poem that we just made. Who wants to give it a go?
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. The Pretty House by The Class. After Mojdeh Amin.
Yes.
Gloom walls of the suburb house are getting college. It's grief, all the mosquito, all the laughters in any wardrobe. The stairs, full the jaw, madhouse. Our shutting counsel, speaker down. All rubbish music, all the songs with chip rhythms. The windows punch the pretty office house. Our disgust to the sky, shining exempt all fragment classes, all the bones wash indoors.
Yay!
Wow, guys. We still have one more to change. That's going to be in the title. What is going to be the last word that we change?
Who said we have to change it?
Well, I said because I want to mention also in the title that we're not just taking much this word. I want to make sure that we know that we kind of make something out of this. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, it looks like pretty is being voted for.
Pretty obvious. Hopefully the word doesn't come as obvious, but my luck, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh wow. Well, again, we have chances, so it's up to you guys. You guys want to keep it or next one? No.
Next.
Okay. Nay. Next one. It's. Oops. I should turn and then. Ooh, you guys want to play the next one or you want to keep this one? Somebody says no. We have one more vote.
I think that, I'm afraid to do the last one. That's the thing.
Like Zelda said, the third time has not been the charm.
Here comes the taking risks.
Up to you guys.
Let's take a risk.
Yeah, Vegas, baby.
Oh my gosh. No. I feel like it's like the price is right, huh?
I kind of like it. Hold on a second. It kind of works. The computer.
Yes.
That's good.
Talking about
That's good.
Yeah.
The estate house.
Yeah,
it works.
It works. Excellent.
I like it.
Let me get this right. And there you go. And now you see what I made bold letters on all these ones. So those are the ones that I changed. And again, same thing with the title. Instead of fuera de lugar, like out of place, it was right. So I changed it as well. So excellent work, guys. That was awesome. So because everybody here counts for this, like I know this is the favorite part of the class. Homework. So let's go for it. What is this? Oh yeah, here you go. Write a poem thinking of out of place. And again, this is to keep it in the context of the theme of the class. And the out of place word is gonna also help us give that even more sense to it, right? Then find the adjectives or the verbs, again, like we did, then switch them for random words. You can use the website that we just used. It's on the pamphlet that we have in the class. Or look at a magazine or a book and do the ini, mini, mo, and find a word. If you don't want to use technology, you can use a dictionary, a book, a magazine. That's, again. Then, tarea en español, escribe un poema pensando en fuera de lugar. Y eso es para quedarnos con el tema que estamos haciendo este semestre. Y luego, encuentra los adjetivos o verbos. Luego, cuando ya están todas las linitas, ya estás checando todo lo que hiciste en el poema, cámbialos por palabras aleatorias. Puedes usar el sitio web, el que usamos, para generar las palabras aleatorias, o puedes usar una revista, un libro y señalar en busca de palabras aleatorias. So, ini, mini, mo, y a ver lo que encuentres, va saliendo. So, revistas, diccionarios. Nada más la cosa es que no esperes And remember, try to do the three tries approach. Otherwise, you're thinking too much on it. And the point is to give that chance for the words to pop in, and you can try something you wouldn't do. And again, as I was telling Zelda, the reason this kind of works a lot for me is like, because words have a lot of context to themselves. So when you add them to other words, it kind of sometimes has the same meaning, but sometimes just because the connections in our brain have different words, give us different sensations or histories or meanings. So all that is going to go into the subject, and it's going to give us something we didn't thought of it before, because we're trying this. Is going to help us to approach those, to give a chance for words that we normally don't connect, right? So, any questions? Let me know. ¿Alguna pregunta? Échenla para acá.
Yeah, and it's verbs, V-E-R-B.
Yeah, I messed up a couple. I tried to correct some of it, but I guess the end didn't. I didn't fix that.
And this the website, the random word generator website, I put it in the chat. It's also actually on the handout that was posted on Google Classroom. So if you are looking for it, you can find it there. And also the exercise itself doesn't really have a name as far as I know, but one of the things that is kind of like a function of the exercise is tension. And it's all about creating tension between words that you normally wouldn't put together. It's also a technique that in poetry, at least, is called juxtaposition. And that's probably the way that you might understand it more if you think about it as putting two ideas that conflict with each other in proximity. So you get that tension that comes from that weird connection that they're making.
As well as being unexpected, because again, not all of them are going to be actually contrasting. Some of them are going to flow right into them, right? So it's that kind of seeing those connections, and also maybe you're not going to use it at its fullest, like the way we're doing it tonight. Maybe you want to slow it down or use less of that, but at least you're getting the chance to practice that and understand why those words work with each other, right? That's the whole point of it. And again, you can see the website. That's the one I was using. See, it has a lot of options, but this one, I don't see the point of using them because we want as random as possible. So then after you just click generate, curl, power, explain, cucumber, fight, pull, tooth. And the words are not as complicated as I thought it will give me, but.
Abraham, excuse me. So you don't put any words in here. You just click on generate.
Exactly.
Okay, I thought you had to input like the word from the poem somewhere in here, and then it would just give you another word for it.
No, we have the word that we outline. That's the words that we're trying to get out of the poem. And then it's basically like deleting those words and changing them for these ones.
And what is that?
Come on.
What is this? I'm sorry. Number of words, word type. What is all that?
Again, you don't have to do that. It's basically, this is what helps. These is questions if you want to filter the answer a little more.
Okay.
But we don't want that. We want as random as possible. That's why I said don't really go for it, right?
And then
so you can put the number of syllables, the number of letters.
And you set a limit of 3 words for us, right? We can say 4, or we can say 2, right?
I'm gonna say 3 the maximum, because that's what I'm trying to give you. The chance of trying not to think too much about it and leave the process take you there, because otherwise it's like you thinking of the word, and we are trying to allow the word to give us that access. Like it's like a chance that we're taking, right? Like somebody's mentioned, it's like lottery or like gambling. It's kind of what we're trying to say, like the Pablo Neruda says, like Coelho, sorry, that you have to take chances, otherwise you're not gonna find those treasures, right?
Yeah.
Any other questions? Let me know. Okay, seems like we're all good. We have work to do, guys. And again, the poem that we used today was a little on the long side, but since we're a class, we're able to do it really fast. So you doesn't have to be that long. It can be a smaller poem. You're creating it again, and then you just replacing.
Mhm.
And again, once you write the poem, you're probably gonna already think, oh, maybe I have to put more adjectives in my poems, because otherwise it's gonna be harder for me to find, right?
Or maybe you want to challenge yourself and do only the articles or only the
Yes.
prepositions.
Yeah.
You know,
But remember, try each line.
yeah, and it could make for, you know, a very interesting, maybe almost non sequitur kind of poem. Again, the idea is that you're playing with the concept of juxtaposition and, you know, breaking people's expectations. And in the end, effective poetry can do that because, you know, the randomness of the words can make people develop a certain idea of what they're reading. If you think about your interpretation of Abraham's poem, the first time that he presented it to us, you know, it might have had certain themes that maybe were stronger or maybe were more vivid for you than the second time reading the poem with the original text. So, you know, don't feel like it has to be, you know, perfect the first time. That's actually part of this process. You know, it's to just reinforce what's already there within the poem.
Yeah, and don't think too much of it is gonna sound correct or it's gonna make sense. I think you have to take the chance, and that's the whole point. Even if it doesn't work, that's the success already, because you're setting yourself for something that you are not expecting too much out of it. You are being surprised by what the outcome is, and that's where the prize is, because you don't know the price already. That's the whole point of it. Don't expect anything out of it. Just see what comes up. Let it happen.
Exactly. We are having a fundraiser actually next Thursday. It has been posted in the Google Classroom, but it is a fundraiser for those of you who are in LA. We will be having our Shakey's Pizza Night, we're calling it Pizza y Poesía. This will be, I think, the third or fourth time that we're doing it. And yeah, it happens to actually be on my actual birthday. So thank you.
When's your birthday?
Thursday, October 26th.
Ándale.
And the Shakey's that is hosting our fundraiser night is the one that's located on Cesar Chavez in Boyle Heights.
Do we have that in the class room, Luis?
Yeah, so the details have been posted on the Google Class. We'll probably post it one more time just as a little reminder for those of you who are able to join us. And if you're not able to make it, that's okay. You know, it's no worries. There's no obligation. It would just be nice to you know, have you there if you
or send your donation. You don't have to go,
and
just send your donation.
it's not this Thursday, it's the next one, right, Luis?
Right, next Thursday.
Yeah, just making sure.
Again, October 26th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And it's valid
pizza,
on dine-in and takeout. So you can, if you're not able to stay but would still like to pick up some dinner, you can pick up some dinner and take it home, and it will still count towards the fundraiser. So that's a nice little feature. So yeah, thank you, everyone. Does anyone have any final questions for Abraham or anything, any final comments that they'd like to add?
Well,
is that it was a really fun activity, and that I try to be here because I know that I gain more when I'm here, you know, but sometimes it's very hard for me to be here, but I really I had a great time with this activity, you know.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's always good to hear.
And also you can put the type of pizza you guys like. I mean, we all know that pineapple belongs with pizza.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I started a war. Yes, it's not my first time.
I like the veggie pizzas. They're very good.
All right, everyone. So for anybody that is still on our Instagram Live or joining on the other live streams on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, thank you for joining in. I will be ending the live stream at this moment, and also the recording will come to an end as well. For anybody that is watching this afterwards, again, thank you for watching and for joining in. Those of you who joined in tonight on Zoom, it's always a pleasure to have you share your thoughts and experiences with us in the class. And this video will go up on our YouTube channel in about a day or so, and it will also be posted on the Google Class along with the handout, which is actually available now on Google Classroom. But all of that information along with the writing prompt for this week will be all posted there in a couple of days. So thanks again, everybody, and I hope you all have a good night.